Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Turn Right Machine Works. My name is Keith, and we're here at the welding bench. And of course, you just finished watching us build these two pieces. And this is going to be a challenge test. Alright, a couple weeks ago, I got an email from a representative from the Dimide clamp company and asked me if I would like to have a couple of their clamps in my position to periodically or use demo in my regular videos. And so I logged on and I checked them out, just like I check anybody else that wants me to bring something in here. I've I've refused quite a few, although you have seen me take on a couple Chinese challenges also. So, to be fair to everybody, I pick and choose. And I actually went on their site and I was checking it out. And I thought maybe this might be a good clamp for me in here as well. And I'm going to show you in a minute what I actually had in mind. The Dimide clamps were sent to me also with a couple brochures in here. So this actually gives me the technical information here as well. And so I have an 8-inch here, which is the number 8, and here is a 5-inch, number 5. They have stamped right on them. They have their name stamped right in. Made in the United States of America. All right. They also have everything in here that tells you the total throat depth. On the 8-inch is 5 3/4, and on the 5-inch it's 3 3/4. And the max force on the 5-inch is 7,400 pounds, and 7,700 pounds on the 8-inch. You can use a torque wrench on here, and there's also a foot-pounds of torque. And each manual could be 180 foot-pounds of torque onto there. Okay. Now, one end they actually have a little hand knob, and you can control it like this. And the other end, actually, all right, I gotta watch this because it's opposite. When you're tightening, it's actually opening, and when you're removing, as far as clockwise and counterclockwise with your torque wrench, you get to bring it back and forth. You know, one of the first things I thought is, of course, all of us in the trade, we're always fighting the rusty, broken, stuck, galled stuff. We're working with pullers and everything else. And the first thing I said, I'm gonna lube them threads, okay? But then I looked in there, and they come lubed, okay? Made in the USA, and the threads come lubed. All right, so there's 2 thumbs up right there already. Okay, now what was my real interest in this? Because you've seen the quick clamps, which is pretty close to this design, except for it is a T-handle at one end, and they have a shape that reaches out, and it's basically a hand clamp. The way that this actually reaches around, like 2 points, like that. The table that I weld on, and here's a couple pictures of looking underneath. There is webbing all underneath there. This table was a machinist drill table. It had 6 drill presses all on top of here when I got it. And I took them all off, and I gave away most of them. I sold a couple of them, and this is what I wanted to have in here. But it has its disadvantages because of that webbing. You can't just quickly slide a clamp, and you see I have a good supply of Bessie clamps, and even my Bessie clamp, to go ahead and actually reach underneath here and clamp, I either have to put the clamp completely upside down, stick my head underneath there, and find out where it's going to be reaching, and lower my hand down there and get something clamped in here, and then I'm still limited only to a certain amount of distance in. Well, what was really intriguing me about this is that this can go right around and sit right underneath there I'm new to this, so I'm going to have to hold this right. All right. And where's that in here? It found its own place down in there. All right. Now, what would be nice is sometimes I might have an angle or something on the vise here or on the table here. Okay. Now I can jig up and I can work something off of there. This is giving me a little bit of opportunity, and I'm gonna be checking it out as I go with my projects in the future. Okay, so I can't bring something in here as a project and give you a good demonstration. I did show you this, and I was able to go ahead and hand tighten this down while it was jigged up on the table so that I can do my welding around here to create these. All right, now the hardest thing is going to be just getting used to holding the unit and using the unit like anything else. Now the hand knob is just detented in there, and same thing. And it is pretty easy to just rotate that around. Those are nice threads. It looks like really nice pivots that they got on there. All right. Now I'm just showing you, and I'm kind of, because the information's here. All right. So this really wasn't what was intended by them, but I wanted to go ahead and, because you're going to see it in the future in some of my videos as I'm playing with them and finding out what their best advantages of having this clamp and stuff like that is going to be. All right, now they give you a safety thing in here, and they actually done an inspection. They inspect each one. Always wear your safety glasses, goggles, protect your eyes. Wear the appropriate safety items for protection. Never clamp a load-bearing device to lift, pull, or transport. Because may cause. Do not use this for like a plate dog and things like that. That's what they're talking about. Always keep your hands and fingers out from under here. I mean, especially with the impact, that thing goes pretty fast. And never exceed the clamp's rated impact wrench torque of 400 foot-pounds. Okay, so never torque more than 400 foot-pounds on your clamp. I got that right. All right, let's go ahead, because I think this and this together, and we'll go ahead and put this in here, and I think I'm going to have to be just a little bit over to. Oh, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to come in from the other side, so I'm not against that handle. That should have it, right? Okay, and we're just gonna the X marks the spot, I guess. We'll go ahead and we'll use that right there and there. We're gonna tighten this together, and then we're gonna be doing a lift test with it. Okay, that's about all this squat to P torque wrench can put on there. I'm not going to bother putting another wrench on there. I think that's going to be sufficient. All right. Are you ready for a challenge? Well, let's take it outside. See you outside. Okay, we're out here. We got the hoist up here, and we'll go ahead and turn this on. I'm not going to worry about setting exactly 0 here. Well, it's holding the harness. Maybe that'll set at 0. Okay, it will set it at 0, depending on what it is. And oh, look at that, we went minus pounds. Okay, this clamp is holding those two pieces together. We're around my hitch here on the back of the truck, and we're hanging. I've tied off over the pole there, but this should be fine here. And I'm lifting it with the right hoist. And here's a picture of that. And here's a picture of the other side of the hoist, and it lets you know that it's the new improved version. Higher speed. All right. We're not into speed today, but we're either going to find out how much the clamp can handle, or we're going to find out what the back of my truck weighs. There's 150, there's 312, there's 524, there's 735, 893, 1048, and my rear wheels are off the ground. Almost. And that plate's still together. We're not getting any more. Well, there's 13, 18. And still have a little bit of ground touching over on the passenger side there. Okay, we're totally off the ground here. So 1,400 pounds. Now it actually said that it had 70, what was it, 74, 7,500 pounds of clamping strength. All right. Now, this is not lifting with that. I wouldn't want to use it as a plate dog or anything else like that. But it's showing you the force, okay? And this is actually lifting the truck. And that's just holding those two flat plates together. All right, so this is a little bit too extreme maybe. But my point is that it's going to take a little while to get used to holding this clamp. You saw me in there at the bench. It was cumbersome to me because I don't have it in my hands every day. But now that it is in the shop, I'll be putting it to use, and I'll be sharing that the use of it with you. So anyway, the back of my truck weighs about 1,400 pounds, and we'll bring her on down now and take down our gear. Okay, before I clean up here, before we go, I went ahead and I got an email just today, yesterday or today, but the Dimide is going to have a booth at the FabTech 2017. That's in Chicago, November 6th to 7th. So you can kind of, if you're in that area and you're going to that show, you'll see them in person, so you can put your hands on it and check out their display and everything else. Other than that, www.dimide.com. You can check out the product there on their website. Okay, that's my bit for Dimide clamp, and you'll start seeing them in my shop when I think they're going to be appropriate to use. Until next time, get her done.